So Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl have officially been out for a few days now, and I am absolutely loving it. I don't know if I'm going to make a full review video or anything, but these games have completely won me over compared to how I originally felt about them when they were first revealed. If you remember, I was kind of not digging them at all, but now I'm absolutely loving them, and since they've been out for a few days now, I think it's time to get into the secrets, the Easter eggs, the references, and that kind of juicy facts and trivia that we love to explore on this channel. So in today's video, I am going to be going over 10 secrets, Easter eggs, and or references in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that are really cool and that you should definitely know about. This video is also pretty much completely spoiler-free unless you really just don't like seeing any gameplay that hasn't been shown off in trailers at all, so just keep that in mind if you're one of those people. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this, which wouldn't even be possible at all without the support of today's amazing sponsor, Manscaped. With the holidays nearly upon us, Manscaped is the kind of thing that can be an amazing gift for either someone you know or even yourself, and luckily, Manscaped have been kind enough to gift me with their new Performance Package 4.0. This is the kind of package you want to see wrapped up under the tree because every one comes with an absolute bundle of goodies. First is the iconic Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is cordless, waterproof, and is equipped with skin-safe technology to protect all your goods while you get everything nice and trim. You also got some stocking stuffers in here like the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray to keep you feeling as fresh as possible, as well as the Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer to cut down on that forest you got growing in your nose. As if that wasn't good enough though, Manscaped is in a very festive mood this holiday season because they're also offering the Shears 2.0 luxury stainless steel nail kit, and seriously, this is like super nice, and they've even got a brand new 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner as well to keep you feeling clean and on top of your game. So give the gift of some trimming, grooming action with Manscaped this holiday season by picking up any of these products with the link in the description, and when you do, you're going to get 20% off your order when you use code HoopsVGM at checkout. And on top of that, you're also going to get 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag and Manscaped's own anti-chafing boxer briefs. Again, be sure to check that out with the link in the description, and thank you again to Manscaped for supporting the channel. Okay, so getting into the Easter eggs and references now, this first one occurs fairly early on in the game in Jubilife City. Upon getting to the city for the first time, you will be tasked with getting the Pokédex, and once you finally get the device, the game will present you with a banner image that basically tells you a little bit about it and how to use it. And on this banner image is a neat little reference, because if we look at the Pokédex, it is displaying a time of 11:19, which is actually a reference to the release date of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which was 11/19. Speaking of the Pokédex, one of the biggest changes to this device in the remakes is that it is actually used to use the HM moves in the game instead of the HMs being tied to your Pokemon themselves. This makes it really convenient to be able to not have to put these moves on your Pokemon, obviously, but there's a really sly reference to the days when you did have to do this and how a lot of people used the Bidoof family of Pokemon as their designated HM slave. This was also shown off in one of the trailers for the games that showed off this feature, but basically several of the HMs have a wild Bidoof and or Barrel coming to perform the HM move for you, which is a very cheeky reference to how a lot of players of the original games used these Pokemon to put all of their HMs onto, so they didn't have to give those moves to the rest of their team. Another interesting thing that you come across fairly early in these games isn't really an Easter egg or a reference per se, but it is still really interesting and noteworthy. So in the original trailer for these games, a view of Floaroma Town was shown off, and this is a shot of the trailer that was talked about a lot initially, because it actually had the Gracidia Flower Lady from Pokemon Platinum present and viewable. So this got a lot of people talking about the possibility for platinum content in these games. However, the thing that is interesting about this is that now that we actually have the final games for ourselves, this Gracidia Flower Lady is actually a different NPC class compared to the one that was shown off in the trailer, showing a difference and evolution in development from the initial trailer to the final release of the games, which is something that was on display throughout the pre-release process for this game and is pretty cool to take note of, especially with little things like this. So this next one is another really interesting one, and it was actually brought to my attention by B2J135 on Twitter, so shout out to them for this. If you are familiar with transferring Pokemon, especially from the more recent games, then you're probably also familiar with the fact that every Pokemon from every various game version is given a specific symbol on their summary screen to identify which game they originally came from, and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is no exception, as all of their Pokemon are given a specific symbol as well, which can be seen right here on the summary screen. And as B2J points out, this symbol is actually a reference to the symbol that we see in the Sinjoh Ruins event in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where one of the creation trio is created by Arceus. Arceus, in the process of creating one of these Pokemon in the event, gets enveloped into this intricate symbol, which primarily consists of a triangle with 3 circles on each one of its points, which is exactly what this symbol for the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Pokemon is, and when you put them both side by side, you can instantly see the similarities. The Sinjoh Ruins event didn't even occur within the original Sinnoh games at all, but it is still really closely tied to them, obviously, so it's really cool that the remakes referenced that with this symbol. Another really cool thing in these games that possibly has to do with Arceus is the infamous Heartome City church. People have been trying to figure out what the deal is with this church since the original games came out, and the prevailing theory is that it has something to do with Arceus, but we just don't really know what that is. If you talk to the people within the church, they will all give you very profound bits of dialogue, and if you go to the guy at the front of the church in particular, he will give you a speech about his father and his son, which, given the way it is worded and given the fact we're in a church and given where this guy is standing, which is basically the pulpit preacher area of a church, it seems to be the case that this is actually a reference to God and Jesus, who are known as the Father and the Son. And this is a really interesting reference to make, given obviously it's a religious one, and Pokemon likes to kind of steer clear of religion as much as possible, so it was kind of surprising to see this in the game, even if it is just a subtle reference. One thing that these Sinnoh remakes have that the original games didn't are new animations for all the various characters and Pokemon and stuff like that. Particularly in battle, there are a lot of intro animations, there are a lot of idle animations, and this includes the trainers that you battle. Upon sending out their Pokemon, each trainer class has a unique animation that they use to send their Pokemon into battle, and this is also true for the Black Belt trainer class. Upon sending out their Pokemon, their throw out their Pokeball animation looks suspiciously like a Hadouken from Street Fighter, and if you actually look at the design of the Black Belt NPC, they look strikingly similar to Ryu from Street Fighter as well, likely making this trainer class one big Street Fighter reference. Up next is a really interesting one, so interesting in fact that I actually made a whole video about it, and it concerns potential hints to the next generation of Pokemon games, aka Generation 9. Early on in the game, and then subsequently littered all throughout various buildings in the Sinnoh region, you can see a picture hanging on the walls of these various buildings that is very distinctive, and it's especially distinctive considering all the other pictures we see in the game are very, very generic by comparison. It was surmised by me in my video, and also has been surmised by others, that this is a very Italian-esque picture and might be depicting something from Italy, which could obviously hint to the idea of an Italy region coming in Generation 9. Well, this is not the only piece of evidence towards an Italy region, because later on in the game on Route 214, you can go inside of a house that contains the directors of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, one of them being Junichi Masuda, who you can actually recognize since he has his own custom in-game model. And when you go to talk to him, the first thing he will say to you is ciao, which is the Italian word for hello. And since we know that Junichi Masuda himself likes to give hints to upcoming games a lot, and it's kind of a thing he does fairly often, it's very, very possible that these could be legitimate hints to an Italian Pokemon region coming in Generation 9. The next thing we're going to cover here, once again, isn't really an Easter egg or a reference, but it's something really cool that I noticed. It's almost kind of like a theory in a way, and I wanted to bring it up. So Maylene, as we know, is the third gym leader in these games in the Sinnoh region, and she specializes in fighting type Pokemon. However, I actually noticed that she looks a lot like the female bird keeper trainer class in terms of her appearance. The hairstyle is almost identical, and that got me thinking, could Maylene be connected to the bird keepers in any way? Well, in addition to their distinct visual similarity, it's also really interesting that Maylene, upon defeating her and getting her gym badge, will allow you to use the HM Fly to fly to different places in the region. So maybe Maylene was actually a bird keeper at one point before, for some reason, she decided to change her image and start training fighting type Pokemon. Sometime after defeating Maylene, you will of course make your way to Canalave City, and upon arriving in Canalave City, you will have to go through a gate, and within this gate, you'll actually run into one of Professor Rowan's assistants. This assistant will have a brief conversation with you before attempting to upgrade your Pokédex so that it can identify the different gender variants of various Pokemon that you meet throughout the game. He actually comes to find out, however, that your Pokédex can already do that, and then remarks how much technology has improved. This is actually a reference to both the remakes of the games and the original games as well, as in the original games, this assistant actually did upgrade your Pokédex so that you could identify the different gendered variants of various Pokemon. But in the remakes, they just threw that into the Pokédex from the beginning, I guess, so they used this moment instead to reference the original games and the remakes and how much time has passed between the two and how much technology has truly improved since the original games. And finally, this last one is a really cool one because it occurs in the iconic Old Chateau. The Old Chateau is, of course, an abandoned, haunted house within Eterna Forest, and you can go in there once you defeat Gardenia and gain access to the Cut HM. Upon going in there, you can't really do much in this game prior to the post-game when Rotom actually shows up, but you can still look around and see some interesting things. And one of the interesting things that you can see in this game is a painting with glowing red eyes. This painting actually got a little bit of an update in this remake since obviously so much more detail can be seen, and it looks like they modeled this painting in the remakes after an iconic painting of Beethoven, as the two paintings look pretty much identical. However, an even cooler thing about this painting that they added in these remakes is that upon going into the room where this painting is located and giving it a good look, after you look at it and then turn away from it, you will actually be able to hear a laugh that is subtly mixed in with the music of the Old Chateau. And every time you look directly at the painting and then turn your back to it after that, you will then hear another laugh every single time. This is a really cool and creepy detail that is also a really cool attention to detail, and it really does just go to show that these remakes are actually really well made, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I have been absolutely loving them for things just like this. And there you have it. Those were 10 cool secrets, Easter eggs, and or references in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and let me know your thoughts about all these references in the comments below. And also be sure to tell me how you guys are enjoying the games. There are also plenty more Easter eggs and references in the games past just these, and I'm hoping to cover them in another video like this in the near future. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that either if you haven't yet. With all that being said though, I will be back with another video very soon, so until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this one, I love you very much, and I will smell you guys later.